Homeschool Guide Montessori Consulting Services is a service to families and educators. I offer initial consultations for those that are interested in talking through unique situations, whether that is finding the right curriculum for their child, toilet learning, positive discipline, starting a homeschool, learning state laws, and setting up educational environments, to name a few. Please go to my website, www.home-schoolguide.com, for more information. Welcome to the Raising Independent Thinkers Show. I'm your host, Beth Sheba, or many people call me Beth. And it feels like it's been a while since I got on and talked to you all. It has been really busy for Akeem and I. We've been making some big moves and plans, and it's just a really exciting time for our family. And one of the things we're preparing for is the upcoming seminar in April, which I can pull up. See, there we go. So Hindsight Radio is hosting a religious status correction seminar on Saturday, April the 23rd, 2022, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And Akeem will be discussing status correction, religious passport, religious trust, religious exemption, and religious unincorporated association. The donation is $250 online or at the door, and it will be held at the Hilton New Orleans Riverside Hotel. You can get more information at akeeml.com/events. Okay. So I'm very excited for you all to hear the information that Akeem has, and I'm also excited to explore the city of New Orleans. I've never been there. The hotel is actually located downtown in the center of all the festivals and attractions. And I know New Orleans has a very rich culture, so I'm just excited to experience it all. And I hope that I'm able to meet some of you. Okay, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about the power of repetition and how this human tendency is important to understand when raising an independent thinker. Okay, so there's a book called A Delicate Task by Catherine McTamaney. It's actually right here. And the author, Catherine McTamaney, she's a Montessori educator. She's a former school director and consultant. And she talks about the various human tendencies that Maria Montessori termed the tendencies of man. Which explains the link between the prepared environment and the need of the child. So this is a book that I like to refer to when I'm instructing my adult learners who are taking their Montessori training. So I'll just read a little bit in a chapter, and then I'll discuss. Okay, so I'm going to start off with page 115. And again, I actually just enjoy reading this book. It's an easy read. Okay, so it starts off by saying, we are best defined not by the ways we wish we were, but by the habits that we barely recognize. The things we do by rote, the routines and rituals that are so deeply ingrained that although we never think of them, we would immediately notice if they were broken. Okay, so it's true. We barely recognize our daily habits and rituals, the things we do over and over and over again. And by doing these things, we learn to create predictability, right? And most importantly, we learn how to master a skill. So, for perfect example, some of you know that Akeem is learning to play the guitar. He's played on YouTube several times on the channel, and he practices at home often. And I actually find it very intriguing, when someone puts their mind to something in hopes to perfect that skill. So that's what he's doing. And he will repeat the same song over and over and over again, each time mastering, the notes. And I know it's not as easy as it looks because I've tried myself to play the guitar, and it's very difficult in learning where to place your fingers, and you have to really focus and concentrate on what you're doing. And this is why it's important to be mindful about interrupting our children, especially when they are concentrating and focusing on something that they're trying to master. Because when we break their concentration, many times you have to start all over again. And I learned today actually that the brain treats distractions as a threat. So it's something that I need to be aware myself with my husband and my adult children, and again, especially to our youngest children. Okay, so let's go back to our reading. Okay, on page 118, it says children repeat activities to provide a safe place from which establish a comfort and confidence after which they are able to take on greater challenges. That repetition may be a part of a child's daily routine. Enter the room, choose the work, complete it before you begin something new. Okay, so you can feel a sense of comfort from repetition. Have you ever noticed a child repeating the same action over and over again? So, for example, a young child climbing on a chair and then climbing off the chair and then climbing on the chair and then climbing off and doing that over and over. Within that repetition, they are learning how to coordinate their movements. They're learning how to safely climb. And many times we see a child doing these things over and over, and we tend to stop them, saying, stop doing that. And why do we do that? Is it because we're annoyed to see them repeating things over and over? Or maybe is it because we don't want them to get hurt or fall? But, whatever happened to the saying, get up and try again. And I think many of our children today are not allowed to make simple mistakes that we all did growing up, and not giving them the chance to really master a skill before we want them to move on to the next thing. And in result to doing that, we're really creating adults who are more dependent on other people. Okay, so let me keep reading. Children also repeat activities when they are learning new concepts, when they are internalizing new ideas for the first time and testing them to understand their nature more deeply. Build the tower, deconstruct it, build it again, deconstruct it. That repetition may be immediate, again and again, all morning long. Finally, children repeat activities when they are in retreat, when they need to be reminded of their safe harbor. Put aside the trinomial charts and find instead the knob cylinders. That repetition may be a cycle of the year, when the child who has advanced to complicated materials and relationships reverts to the oasis of familiar, simple tasks. Every so often, we all have to stop to take a breath, to retreat before we move forward. So again, as human beings, we need to practice repetition in order to master a skill or a concept. And the problem with many of our schools today is that children, they don't have time to master anything. They don't have time to master a skill. And, I could barely tell you what I learned in school. And it's because we were never taught, well, we were always taught topic after topic after topic without giving us a real chance to internalize the concepts and really master what we're learning. So even though tests were given in between and quizzes, we still were not given enough time to process that information. And this is why we can't remember what we've learned. Okay? So I'm going to read one more paragraph. And it says, in each cycle, the child's tendency to repeat provides an assurance to her. And when that repetition is supported, the child's questions are answered clearly. The world is a safe place in which your influence is felt. The people around you are reliable and value your contributions. You are safe. You are warm. You are loved. So again, that book is called A Delicate Task, and it's by Catherine McTamaney. Okay, that's what it looks like. So I encourage you all to support your children in their repetition of learning. Understand that each time they're learning a new word, each time they're learning a language, learning how to swim, learning how to climb, learning how to cook even, it takes practice and repetition. So I hope you all enjoyed the message. It was a short one, but hopefully good. Please check out my website, which is down below, homes-schoolguide.com. And I'm putting some last minute touches on my new webinar called The Power of Discipline. So please subscribe to my website and you'll get the information as soon as it comes out. I'm going to look for the ad that I can play for you all. See if I can find it. I have not played it in a while. Okay, here it goes. Okay, I hope you all have a lovely week, and I'll see you next week.